Ladies and gentlemen, it's me again on the same day. We've got a lot of work to do, so let's just get started. Let's get talking books. So I really wanted to film the statistics for my physical library for this year. I started this year with my wrap TBR. If you don't know, it's where I wrapped up all the books that I still haven't read yet. And I decided to unwrap 1 or 2 or 3 of them every once in a while and read them. The point of the wrap TBR was to see whether I am actually interested in these books, if I enjoy them, and just give them a chance. I didn't have to finish them. I could DNF them, I could unhaul them, as long as I've decided what to do with them. The first book from my wrap TBR was Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and I talked about this book in a vlog that I filmed at the beginning of the year, but I did end up rating this book 3 stars. Probably I would have given it 2 stars if I rated it now. I don't particularly care about this book. It wasn't my favorite. I don't really like it. The next book that I read was Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. This one was a 5-star read until a plot twist came and I had to lower a star. I definitely want to continue with the series. I am absolutely in love despite the plot twist that I hated. Moving on is a book I don't have with me right now because it was an unhaul, but I read it in January as well. And at the time I rated it 3 stars, but right now I'm rating it 2 stars. I'm lowering the rating. I also have a vlog video where I talk about this book. Next up we have Gone by Michael Grant. This book I have the entire series for, and I don't know how I felt when I started reading it. I started reading it once in 2013 or 2014 and I didn't get really that far. I rated it 3 stars. Again, just disappointing, but I will continue with the series because I am interested to see where it goes. Or at least that's what I think right now, because I can't remember my thoughts from January. It's been such a long time and I'm a forgetful person. Next up, after reading all of these books plus some others, we are currently talking about just my physical library. From my physical library, I picked up A Discovery of Witches. This was a reread. This is one of my favorite comfort books, and it was a comfort all the same. Again, 5-star read. Again, loved it. And I watched the 2nd season of A Discovery of Witches and loved it just the same. I really missed the world. Then I picked up Revenge of the Sluts by Natalie Walton. This is also an ARC cover copy that I got from Wattpad Books. And this was an interesting read, I gotta say. Such an important read as well. It handles so much and it does it in such a good way. I rated this book 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite reads. The book is so heavy though. I definitely want to give it to my sister to read, and if you haven't picked this book up yet, I definitely do recommend it. It's just a good commentary on our society and sexism, misogyny, just men in general and how we raise them, and women's role in public and the way we're perceived, and just everything. Just pick it up. Okay, then we have a book that I read for the Queer No Fear Readathon, and this is the only physical book that I read for the Queer No Fear Readathon, and that is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I absolutely love this book. You Should See Me in a Crown was such a refreshing read. I loved it. I read it in a couple of hours and I just thought it was really cute. I thought the romance was cute. This is a book that you can just read in one sitting. It will swallow you up. It's just incredible. Yeah, it's a feel-good book. This book is the definition of a hug. Despite it being cute, it also handles some heavier topics, but it's a book that I adore and I love having on my shelf, and I'm just so happy that I finally read it. Why am I out of breath? Because I'm trying to outshout my bird. Okay, then it took me a while to pick up another physical book because I have plenty of ebooks and audiobooks in the middle of that, but we have In 27 Days, one of my favorite reads of the year. Again, a 5-star read. Incredible. I wanted to reread it immediately after finishing it. It is a perfect paranormal romance. Moving on, we have a book that I had been dreading to read because I just kept putting it off for years now. It was a good book to start after In 27 Days because it was, again, a paranormal YA romance, and that is Cursed by Jennifer L. Armentrout. However, I thought aspects of this book just weren't fleshed out enough. This book was, it seemed like it was set up to be a series, but ended up being just a standalone, and so many hints were being made that this book was going to be expanded on, that there is going to be there were just all of these loose ends that ended up not being tied in the end. It's so disappointing, which is also the reason why I rated it 3 stars. Paranormalcy by Kirsten White. Let's talk about it. Paranormalcy is a book that I've had on my TBR for years, but I only bought it last year. I had high expectations because it's been on my TBR since probably 2013, 2014. I rated 3 stars. Disappointing. It's definitely a world that I want to give another chance to. I want to read the second book and see if I'm interested in the third one. I'm willing to give it a second chance just because the world is so unique. Moving on, I picked up The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. Let's just talk about how beautiful this cover is. Absolutely gorgeous, stunning. I rated this book 4 stars. I expected this to be a 5-star read, but there was just something missing for me when it comes to this book. It just, I don't know, it lacked a little something. Yeah, that's it. I really don't have any thoughts. I rated this book mainly for enjoyment because I did enjoy it, but the ship wasn't that interesting to me. I would have loved to have more romance, or at least more enemies to lovers, or at least I genuinely don't know, can't put a finger on what's lacking in this book, but something is. Then I picked up a book that I've had again on my bookshelf for years, and I only bought it because it was a cover buy. It had a pretty cover, not knowing what it was about, but I bought the entire trilogy, and that is Wool by Hugh Howey. This is a collection of 5 different books. I love this. I rated it in total, like the entire collection, 4 stars, but I did rate each book separately. This separation made sense, and I also thought it's what made this book feel like a fast-paced read rather than one large boring book. Read it, loved it. I can't wait to dive into the rest of the series. Up next we have Confessions About Colton. This is by Olivia Harvard, again another Wattpad book. I rated this book 4 stars. I just binge read this book. This is a mystery thriller, and you go on this treasure hunt and it's like, oh my god, who did it? What's happening? What? And the ending, just, there's something missing about the ending. It's not explained very well. That's it. My only critique. Now let's talk about all the books that I've read this month, or actually this is just another word for tackled, because again, I am free to DNF books. Now, I started reading A Game of Thrones. I did finish this. This was a 3-star read. I talk more about these books in another video. Next, I picked up A Song Below Water, and I read 72% of this book, and then I DNF'd it. Again, more thoughts in a different video, but just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm giving it away to somebody who will enjoy this more. Sister Sister is the next read I picked up by Sue Fortin. This was also a gift that I gifted to my sister. Again, a DNF. I hated this one. Don't really want to talk about it. It is a psychological thriller though, for those of you who are wondering. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This book I rated 5 stars. This book defied my expectations. I didn't think that I would like it. It was a refreshing read because I finally picked up a book that I thought that I wouldn't like, but I did. It wasn't the other way around. Enjoyed it a lot, and I'm keeping it, obviously. Moving on, Prodigy by Marie Lu. I've come to terms with the fact that Prodigy, or just Legend by Marie Lu, the trilogy, just isn't for me, and I'll be giving it to my sister. And I came to peace with that fact that it's just time to move on. I do highly recommend these books though, even though they're not for me. Probably at this moment in time, I will be picking them up in future years when my reading tastes change again. Next up is The Queen of the Tearling. I picked this book up, didn't get far enough. Can't really say much about it, just that I'm not interested in reading it, so it was a DNF, and it is an unhaul. I'm giving all 3 books to my sister. Up next is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This is the only book this month that I rated 5 stars, and again, I really didn't want to read this book. I was hesitating. I was trying not to read it. It took me about 2 or 3 days to actually pick it up, and when I did, I binge read the entire thing. I loved it. I am absolutely obsessed with it, with the world, with the characters, and I can't wait to pick it up. Isn't that right, little guy? Mango! So anyway, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard is a book that I enjoyed. I'm trying to see if Mango's gonna come and show himself, but probably not. Okay, moving on, we have All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I DNF'd this one as well. I didn't like it, or at least I didn't really care for it. That is a better expression. I didn't care for it. I wasn't interested, and I'm giving it to my sister because I'm not into historical fiction at the moment, and I've had this book on my bookshelf for years, and I want to unhaul it. I'm not interested in it. So let's talk about Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. I did buy this book last year, and I've had it on my bookshelf since on my TBR since it came out. I had high expectations for this book because I like apocalyptic books. It took 75% of this book to start getting interesting, and then when it did, the only thing that made it interesting was the plot twist and the main character. So I rated this book 3.5 stars because if the main character wasn't good, I probably would have rated it 3 stars. And the last book that I did go through was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And the thing about this book is I am not currently in the mood for it. I really don't want to pick it up right now. It's a put down. It's not a DNF, it's a put down. I don't want to unhaul the series, but I just want to press pause on it for a while. Hi, Mango. Yeah, Mango wants to wrap up the video. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you in my next video. Please like for King Mango Henry VIII. Anyway, thanks. Bye. Mango, will you say bye? Say bye, baby. My battery's going off. Say bye. Good boy.